Check, check. Welcome in, team. How are we doing this evening? Gonna give it 1 or 2 more minutes, and then we're gonna dive right in since we go long. Got lots I want to look at. Microsoft, yes, that's one I'm definitely keeping an eye on. BEEM, interesting. That'll be fun. Ramsey D, Arena, Killer Skull, good to have you guys. Everybody else in the chat, I see you too. Nice to have you guys in here. Yeah, Microsoft is definitely one to keep an eye on for sure. Oh. All right, guys, we got the usual crew are in here, the usual Sunday gang. So I think I'm just going to dive right in. We don't have a ton of requests from you guys, so maybe I'll be a little more in depth on the stuff we talk about. But if a few more requests roll in, then I'm definitely going to try and hit those for sure. But yeah, we're going to get started with SPY, guys, like we always do. SPY and QQQ, just kind of see where we're at. Last week, I'm just looking over my notes here. We had some options activity at 570 and 585. Obviously, 585, I'm on the daily chart here, pushed through. And I guess what was kind of sort of a rising wedge is probably invalidated unless we're moving the goalpost here and making a new top line. But if it were me on the daily, I'd probably be deleting that line there. Let me get rid of this. This is just our drawings from a couple weeks ago. I definitely kind of want to still keep SPY on the daily. I want to keep this chart for this bottom trend as well. But for me, we can see the daily, guys. 585. We know what we're up against. If we're bullish or want to be bullish, we know what we got to break. We can push up, but ultimately we have not had any closes, daily closes, that is, over 585. And for me, options activity doesn't have to play out, but early in the week, I am seeing a little bit of volume at the 590, 583, and the lower term or lower end 580. So, we can mark this, kind of see where we are next week, check back. But, we just, this week, we either consolidate and chop and range kind of in this little pocket, or we break out and we kind of do another leg up. But, this is the big spot that I think everyone should be eyeing is 585. And so a zoomed in look or a closer look, I guess, so to speak, build a game plan for you all, because I know we like to trade SPY almost every single day. But, on a zoomed in look, I'm on the 30-minute chart now, guys. And so, the game plan, the thesis is the same. We want to see early breakouts in the day, whether it's Monday, Tuesday, whatever day it is, but we want to see some break and retest the 585. And for me, this is top resistance, is the ceiling, whatever you want to call it, until it's not. If we get some early action or pre-market action down here and you miss it, and you're diving in calls here and you get the rejection, you're being late and you're not playing the chart. You're playing through emotions. But we need to just keep an eye on this level here. There's no way around it. This is our top until it's not. But when we start, breaking out and holding this, like I said, I'm on a 30-minute time frame right now. We gapped up on this would be Thursday and immediately sold down back underneath it. Okay, and so that obviously says, no one is ready to buy the top, so to speak. We shouldn't be either. But when we catch the trend and we catch the bullish momentum, we need to ride that. And so short term, you guys, again, 585, draw a line at 585 and play around that. A lower trend line, this is probably going to hit here, I would assume, fairly clean. We got this from Wednesday. We got a little bit of pre-market action here, some wicks. I think that was some data. We got some pre-market candles here, or after hours, excuse me, and then pre-market here. So I think there's enough touches to warrant, this still a valid uptrend from the last 3 days, despite being the top of a range. And so, oh, Lambo's good to have you here, man. Yeah, I see that in the chat, definitely. So you guys see what he put in the chat. That's kind of what I'm eyeing. So that's kind of options activity, guys. If you're looking in the Zoom chat, that's kind of options activity where we closed. And so if anyone follows this, or kind of like me and Lambos do, what we do is we check back tomorrow morning and we see, okay, did this GEX and volume, did it close, or are they still holding? So, that can change a lot. There's a big spike there. I think that's 590. And so we check back tomorrow morning and say, okay, the market swung contracts or they closed them. And now the sentiment shifted a little bit. But right now, that's kind of that's our top until it's not. 585, follow this trend. And for me, you guys, pre-market action, let's see if we can catch a move off that. If not, it doesn't matter if you want the breakout or if you have November calls or whatever it is. this is it. This is what to watch early in the week until it fails, especially this trend line here. Um, we can sell, we've seen it before. We can sell through something like this, and everyone is like swinging puts, and then boom, the next 2 days, it's like, wait, that dip didn't even happen. And so watch this trend early tomorrow and into Tuesday, and we'll see where we kind of, end up, so to speak, or halfway through the day. But that's kind of my thoughts on cues. I don't know if anyone has any specific questions they want answered on it, but that's big picture. We can add more lines in here. They're definitely, I would think, 583 for a day trade. If you catch rejection at 585, this 583 zone here, I would definitely be for a day trade. That would be a bottom profit or price target for the day. So, realistic or hypothetically, reject here, you got all this price action. So, newer traders I see on Trade for a lot is like, hey, what do you guys have for SPY levels? Slap the 30 or the 1 hour chart up, and you literally just look left and you go, okay, Thursday we had some push up, a little bit consolidation zone here. So definitely this 584 area is a spot of interest. This 583, and if you break below it, we know what happens. So use the larger time frames, you guys, to find your targets, whether it's SPY, QQQ, whatever it is, anything else. Okay. Let's see. No questions so far. All right. QQQ. Same thing. Well, similar thing. QQQ. So if SPY is our ceiling, we want to break over. QQQ 494. You guys marked on your chart. 494 for me is support, and it's our floor. So support. You get the point. When it sells through, we know what happens. Sells through, we know what happens. When it holds, we bounce. And so tomorrow and the rest of this week, 494 on QQQ. So that's big tech stocks. That's your Apples, your AMDs, your NVIDIAs. And so if we're holding 494 tomorrow, this week, Tuesday, whatever it is, I lean a bullish bias on the market. If this holds, I expect and want to see a push. Who knows how far it goes, but you got to be bullish on this big level till it holds. If this fails, the same thing. Look at all the circles. When we start breaking below, we push up or rejecting. Don't fight it, because we see the reaction here just on Thursday alone, and this would be Tuesday, Monday, big sell through. And then last week or 2 weeks ago, when you see the rejections on QQQ at 494, that's what we're up against for the bulls. Okay, so see where we open tomorrow. Literally you can have I always say the one line chart, mark a line on the chart, possibly maybe a messy upper trend line here. I don't love it, but we could also do that. But over 494, I'm not mega bull because we got this price action from Thursday, Friday to chew through. So, I know a lot of you guys kind of, just a quick rant or tangent, a lot of you guys kind of trade on your phone. And so you're just kind of looking at that screen on the 5-minute chart, but it's like, you guys always have to look left and see, okay, what is the price action? Where are we at? So if we hold 494 tomorrow, that's great. Play the bounces here, get the, it's right at 494. So a 495 0 DTE, you're going to need a decent move to get paid. But if you bottom tick this here, you ride it up, and you don't just blindly sell looking for 200%, 300%, whatever it is. You look left to this price action here. And to me, there's very, very easy price action. I would definitely be marking 494.88 and then into that 495, because you can see all that price action there as we enter 495, big smackdowns. Okay, so again, the market doesn't care if you want to break out. Play the chart in front of you. Let's just day trade this and treat this as a day trade until it's not. If we're getting daily closes under 494, that is a risky but reasonable swing upside. And if we start getting closes under 494, I'm not going to say swing short, because we can see if you catch these puts here, you ride this all the way down here to 491, and you're like, okay, I'm closing now. I'm going to enter some more, longer dated puts. And the next day we gap up and push, like, well, shit. And so I say that with caution when you're swinging. I would treat these charts as day trade setups, a day trade outlook, because, we can be mega bearish one day or think we're bearish, and the next day we pop back up and you're like, well, okay, now I guess we're bullish. Or same thing, mega bullish, oh, strong close. Then we open the day, and the next day you take calls and don't cut, and you see all this. And so let's just treat this, you guys, until we get a breakout confirmation. Let's just treat it, as what it is. It's a range, but some very nice levels. QQQ, a little bit easier because we've spent more time in this zone here. Yeah, Jimmy thought that 495, it can look good, and obviously it's easy to look hindsight, but like, yeah, we can see, ignore everything here. I'm on the West Coast. So up until 8 o'clock my time, it's like, man, we bounced 494. We got this nice, I'm on a 30-minute. We got this nice 30-minute candle here. And you're like, okay, it closed over 495. It's on, but it's not. And so obviously it's hindsight to look back, but just if you have a large enough port, you bottom tick, trim most, and just ride one. And if we get the breakout, fine. You just ride that all day until you want to, take the trade or stop out. But you never want to bottom tick, hold 5 contracts into 595, go, okay, this is the day, this is the breakout, and then back down, you're up 85, 90%, and then you're like, oh, I guess I'll sell up 20%. You hold because you don't want to stop out at break even. So let's just trade the chart in front of us, you guys, because really it's a range. And if you've paid attention to Leo's newsletter, it's going to be back and forth. We might leg up a little bit, we might leg down, but kind of until elections are over, the fiscal policy, this is what we get. So let's just play it. Okay, I'm gonna jump on a couple of requests now. Put it in the chat, you guys, if you want me to come back to these. But otherwise, I'm gonna start blowing through these as I see them. But definitely Microsoft and BEEM, and I really want to look at AMD, Google, and Meta because I really like where those are at. So Microsoft, you guys, let me zoom out a little bit for you guys. Microsoft, not a lot of love, but also, if we look at I'm on the 4-hour chart here, you guys. I feel like we've talked about this level for weeks, but this 416 to 418 level, if you're a shareholder and you want to put some shares in the Roth, like this is a good spot. To me, it makes sense. You're not top ticking anything. You're not buying the bottom, but it's a good level to scale in. I think Microsoft is still a good company. From an option standpoint, again, I'm on the 4-hour chart here. Breakouts are pushing. They're opening, push up, rejection. Okay, but also the bears under 416. What do we see? We see buyers stepping in. Okay, these are 4-hour candles, each of these candles. So you may catch a big rejection here and a sell down. But if you just hold and don't set stop, it's like, okay, you're gonna get stopped out. You got a little bit of fall through a couple days, 2 weeks ago. But to me, what I'm seeing here, this daily 9, this jagged line, that is the 9 moving average on the daily time frame where it lines up here on the 4-hour chart. That makes sense. So if I go to the daily, we got something brewing here. So our daily 9 is curling underneath us. I've talked about this week after week, every Sunday for here. The daily 9 is curling under. That's bullish sign number 1. You got this nice little pocket here on Microsoft. It's a $2 range, yes, but you got 2 very strong points of support. So reason number 2 to be, bullish bias again. Breakouts are not happening, but when you see a moving average catch up and start curling, that's also a form of support. Okay, so what else is going on, on these daily candles? This 20 moving average, the 20 MA, we call it, that's resistance. Okay, so moving averages are also support resistances as well. And until we get over those, it's going to be resistance. So we can see this 20 moving average keeps smacking us down. If you're a bull, that's why the breakouts are not happening, because we keep getting smackdowns here. So to me, this is just day trade territory on Microsoft, but a very nice zone to play off of. So if you can catch these bounces off this 418 or even better 416, that's where, on a zoomed in look, 2 zoomed in, there we go. You can see this kill candle here and you're like, oh, puts. It's like, guys, zoom out. Like, look at these bounces. Than this one pre-market. It's like, look at these bounces here at 416. This is where you buy the puts on, or excuse me, you buy the calls on sell and you catch that candle up. You don't take this 30-minute candle here at the top of the range and then you buy calls and go, okay, I'm gonna hold calls. You're like, oh, I'm holding. So This is a very nice day trading range here, you guys. If you catch calls here and you catch some 417 calls, you take that to 418, $2 in the money, or a full dollar in the money. That is paying nice. You catch the breakdown here at 418, you ride puts down. That is a very nice day trade as well. So for me, Microsoft, whoever asked in the chat early on, I don't remember who it was, Ramsey. Ramsey, for me, hopefully it's what you want to hear, but for me, Microsoft is just a day trade only. You can bottom tick calls and you want to swing, and it's like, okay, I'm in profit. I'm not going to sell. I think the breakout's coming. Okay, I'm back to break even. And now you're like, well, why didn't I day trade it? So for me, just treat it as a day trade until we get the breakout. You might miss the move, but it's better than getting some November swings on calls and then selling through 416. You're like, okay, 1K sits a big level. It's going to bounce, going to bounce, going to bounce. And then we get the 3-day continuation down. You're like, well, shit, why didn't I cut? So just treat it as a day trade. BEEM. No idea, but we're going to check it out. Beam Global. Don't know what this is. Hopefully it's not a pump and number. Ooh. You guys are into technicals. I'm seeing what looks like, if you guys don't know what a falling wedge is, it's basically, well, it's a wedge and falling price action, which can be called a bullish signal once it breaks out, not until it breaks out. But quick chart in here on the daily. 455-ish on the daily. Obviously, we can pinch pennies here, but that's a very strong support. Let's see if I can go back even farther. See if it catches up, or if that's like, might be like lows. All right, getting beat down, that's all right. Username D, are you looking for a day trade on this, or what are you looking for this perspective? But on the daily, I don't know if Lena's in here, but she catches stuff like this a lot. She sees these bottoming price actions and she catches really good swings. So shout out to her. I don't know if she's in here tonight, but I'm sure she would approve of something like this. But if we get a breakout here, guys, really all you want to do, looking for a leap possibly. Love it. Oh, Lena, yeah, you're in here. Nice. Very nice. Bean, have a new buy signal. Nice chart. Nice. We've got some good people in here tonight. So again, the day trade, guys, or the daily chart, excuse me. Strong support, bullish reason number one. 2 moving averages are now curled underneath. 2 daily closes over, but now we have the bullish, or excuse me, the bearish. The one reason to be bearish is a trend line. So for me, Zoom user, what I want to look for, I mean, this is just going to be kind of a quick daily chart, but you want to see these curling over. Actually, you said leap. So let me think how I want to answer this. For me, on something like this, it's slower moving. I would look, check the prices on the 5 or the 6 strike leap, since you have a 1 year of time essentially. But you can, if we start getting closes over, what I would do, like say your total position size is $1,000. For me, I would try and scale in, a half size. So like I would try and scale in, let's just say hypothetically, 1 contract is $500. If your position size is 1,000, 2 contracts, I wouldn't buy 2 here, because even though you have a leap and a year of time, you're gonna have to sit. If we get this rejection again and we keep rejecting, again, yes, you have a years of time, but now you have to say, okay, is this going to hold? I'm in a full position. I don't know what that percent down would be. I mean, obviously the Greeks we could pay attention to, but for me, a breakout retest. So if I'm looking, oh, this might be a really nice level here. Maybe just basically 5, just for speed of the class. Let's just mark a line at 5. And so if we break this trend line, our moving averages are curling under. 5 was resistance. Look at push up, rejection, push up, rejection, rejection, rejection. Okay, now we got a daily close over on Friday. We push up and we're holding, continuous days holding. I would treat 5 as your new support. And so you can see how much when we're over 5, we get that nice move. And it's like, man, if you're in leaps and you catch that 5, you catch a 17% move. on the stock, on a leap, that is paying nice. Okay. And so for me, obviously it's easy in hindsight, breakout, retest, and you want to see this down here, this consolidation, or support holding, a little bit of consolidation down here. You want to see this, you want to see that happening here. And so you want to say, okay, buyers are holding five, the 5 level for multiple days. Okay, I'm getting long, I'm taking some leaps, and I'm riding it ideally. And then you're okay, where do I sell? You just look left. You catch you see these big swing up moves, these pivots, moves here. You catch these big pivot moves all the way up. Hypothetically, you just ride that all the way up. You trim, or maybe you got a big port and you grab 10 of them, sell three more, and then, whatever. But that's how I'd play that. Actually, a really nice chart for something that I've never heard of. I like seeing new stuff like that. Definitely. All right, seeing a few tickers rolling in. Not late, but delayed. Let's see. Man, Lambos, you really want drug? Or are you just trolling, man? That was that huge runner, right? I mean, dude, sorry. I'm not looking at that. I love you, brother. I know you're trolling. I have no thoughts on this. Lena, PLTR. PLTR. Ooh, look at that. Very nice daily. I know people have been trying to short this because I'm using air quotes, it's up too much, but you know what? Don't short it until you see some structure break. Structure break is a trend line. So we have an upward trend for, since May. So what is that, 5 months? The trend is up, whether you like it or not. What do we have else? We got a daily 20 underneath us. We got a 9 underneath us. We have a retrace back to the 9. And what did it do? It held 1, 2, 3 days and it bounced. Sorry, that's my 9 EMA. Sorry. The dash is 20. So we got a daily close over the 9. Let's look intraday. Let's see what we got here, because I'm sure we got some very nice spots to play. All right, so I'm in day trade mode now, not swings, but day trade mode. If I catch a bounce, definitely want to see, or at least for me, my brain, you definitely should be selling calls. Give me 1 second. So call it overhead resistance, supply, whatever you want to call it. If you catch this curl here and you're in some swings or some day trades, selling into this 43.50 up to, we'll just say, 44 is up here, but 43.50 to 43.8, we can see why you need to. So if we catch this breakout, hypothetically, and you're in big money, you're like, oh, the breakout's coming, and now we're back here. And you're kicking yourself in the ass for not selling. Breakout's coming, nope, smackdown. Breakout's coming, smackdown. Oh, today's the day, smackdown. So we can see, sounds cheesy, but 43.50. I know Lena's got some good levels too, obviously, but on a day trade, you guys, this is the daily 9. So with confidence, I think you can buy at that 42.7-ish level, because your daily 9 is going to open something like this around here. So if we trickle in here and we kind of chop down, this is where you catch the bounces. You don't dive into puts here at, a Friday support, a Monday-ish support zone here. You can see how that 43.7, we're over it, the reaction. If we're under it, that's fine. If we start rejecting the daily 9, you can be day trade bearish, because we reject this level. You want to start seeing price action, something like this here from last week. But to me, how my eyes see it on a quick look, if we're bouncing this level here at 42.7, I'm bullish for a day trade, or I'm bullish for the week. 42.7 holds. It's not only support, I can even mark it to prove it or show it. Like, look at that. You chase puts down here, it's like, oh, big bounce, what happened? Well, that's support. Okay, that's fine. If you take calls and we sell through it, that's fine. Ride the continuation down, but until a support level breaks, you guys, very nice level here. I mean, that's over a $1 range, like that'll pay nice. And shout out to Lena, like staff ideas tab, like she posts a lot of stuff, you guys. I don't know if she's able or ever does tag premium, but it's like, pay attention to that, because she swings a lot of stuff or gives good trade ideas. So nice setup here Palantir, I think is how you say it. But again, a little bit of a range for me. So, you know, as of now, it's big. It's, you know, it's over $1, but this is your range for day traders until it's not. Okay. Like again, doesn't matter if you want to buy puts with time until we get closes under, you know, the daily 9 close under 42.7. Like I'm not looking bearish unless I catch a top zone puts for a day trade, but I'm not looking to swing bearish. I mean, this trend line and these moving averages have to fail us. Okay. BITF. Ooh, big day, Friday. It's kind of larger time frame. See where we're at. Get a drink of water. Like this setup as well. Interesting. Definitely. Oh, is this like, I don't know what you call a penny stock, but whatever. Cheap name. $2. Cheap. Well, for me, quick chart 2 or 205, you probably call it 2, is what I like to call the pivot. You know, we get over that, we see the move. Under it, we see the selling pressure. So for me, my eyes and my bias is, again, my trading strategy is very simple. Breakout and retest. We get that. You now have reason number 1 to be bullish because resistance is now support. 20 moving average underneath. Another reason, 9 moving average underneath, which is going to curl up pretty fast, you know, because it's the 9, not the 20. So that'll curl fast. So get over that. You have 3 reasons to be bullish. You're looking for a continuation, you know, possible swing on that. I don't know if there's options or if it's a share play, but let me see what we look like on the daily. Yeah, kind of falling wedge. Maybe. I got 3 touches. We can call it that. Got some vibes there, and we know what happens. So if you guys are like, oh, it's a falling wedge. So if we look at past price action, this isn't going to be super clean, but just hang with me just for chart characteristics. When you see, this might not be the best, but so when you see a downtrend, and like we get these bounce and rejections off a trend line, we finally break. Again, it's not clean, but just for speed of the class. When we finally break this, that's what we want to see happen here. And when I say like kind of a, you know, a trend break or a wedge, I guess it's just a wedge. It's not really a falling wedge because that'd be more like something like that. But this is just more of like a wedge. We got support here. And so breakout and retest, and it's on. Trying to keep up with the chat. Okay. I'm gonna get to Citibank. Yeah, man. I want to look at Lyft too if we got time. I don't want to be rude and fly through these, you guys, but we always run long, so I want to make sure I get to everybody's. Citibank. Don't want to be super bearish, but we gave up 64 last week, and I'm not loving that. But all hope is not lost. I got to be nice because I know we got Rena in here as well. She trades Citi. So let me back up. For swings, I don't like that 64, this level here, just give a different color. I don't like that was given up. You know, breakouts last 2 days failed. We closed at it, and Friday we closed under. But like I said, we closed right at the daily 20. So that's good news. And it's obviously like, oh, why did it close there? Well, these are computers we're trading against. So don't go against the computers. We closed right there. So, you know, I zoomed out look here, guys. I'm on the daily. You know, cautiously look for bounces here at, is it a round number? You know, reclaim 63 and the 20, the daily 20. I'm gonna zoom in here and see what we get. Because see, that's a big smackdown. We give up the daily 9, we give up big support, bounce the 20 intraday, tried to push up and ultimately selling pressure again. And so for me, cautiously buy some calls down here, but don't get married to the trade. because we can see this, it would be, we say the highs of the week, the highs of yesterday, the lows of yesterday. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is the lows of last week. Okay, so this is where you cautiously take your stab at bounce plays. But again, we sell through 62.7. Let's just call it that. If we sell through last week's lows, to me, it's continuation downside. And for me, just how I think is you try and play the bounce, sell through it, or we push up, or we reject old support, which is now resistance. We reject, and we're coming down here, and now we're rejecting lows. It's continuation to the next price target. That's just how I think. If this doesn't hold, I think we see 62 this week. Maybe it comes tomorrow, maybe it comes Friday. I don't know, but if this zone does not hold up here, I'm day trading, bearish sentiment on this because, I just want to see some levels reclaimed. But you catch the bounce, okay, cool. 63.11 is reclaimed, nice. Okay, next leg, 63.43. Okay, now we're curving up. Strong day on the close. You're in 10 contracts. You trimmed 8 at 64. Now you can swing those calls because you trimmed already. You bottom ticked. Swing some calls for a breakout over 64. But until then, I don't like that it was given up. All right, lift. Yeah, guys, lift. Thanks for bringing up Manu. Let's go to the daily, guys. I've seen a little bit of flow come in, not like huge, not whales, but I've seen some back-to-back flow hits on lift, which, any given day during the week, lift is like pretty much non-existent. And so for me, now I've seen the flow come in, it's like, okay, are they chasing the move for the breakout of 14, or is there something brewing? Like obviously, like I said, it's not a whale, wasn't millions of dollars, but this stands out to me is, a previous gap was filled, haven't been over 14, the 14 level since mid-June. And so when I see that strong breakout, like you guys are like, oh, how do we catch a swing? How do we catch a, obviously it's in hindsight, I didn't catch it, but nice flag break, nice little flag here. Okay, big breakout. We reclaimed 13 last week with confidence. Like this is the daily chart, you guys. When you see wicks like that, doesn't matter if it's a Tesla or AMD, whatever it is. When you see wicks on the downside on a support, you need to mark that. 13 is a huge level. We got 2 daily candle breakouts, and now we're attempting to break this 14 zone. So for me, tomorrow, I'm all eyes on this price action here. Are we getting real breakouts and holds? Are we getting small pushes and sell back down? We retrace, like, okay, we'll retrace back, back to this 1350, 13.6 area. But I want to see if this continuation holds. And for me, as long as, 14 is here, I know we could probably just move that to 14, but you want to see that hold, a breakout and retest. And so, the trend is up multi-day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 days. We're making higher lows. So lows in the day, they're higher and higher highs. Here's a high, here's a higher high. So you get the point. So we don't chase, but we look for this move continuation. But, say markets are bearish this week or whatever, we know based on the daily how important 14 is. And so we can't get married to trade. Yeah, there's a little bit of flow coming in. Yeah, I had a nice day Friday, but if 14 keeps rejecting, we may have to just short this top here, but we want to get confirmation. We don't want to just, see a 5-minute candle up and go, okay, puts. It's like, we want to see some selling pressure. Do we get like a breakdown of, that's probably not gonna be very clean, but if we open over this and we kind of get some sells through this, now under 14, it's like, okay, is 14 still sellers apart? We got to kind of answer that to ourselves or ask ourselves that. All right, more requests here. Amazon, I think Amazon is a decent chart. Let me see here. Amazon, we talked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days ago. I think my comments are still the same. I do like a little more this week, not gonna lie, but If you guys are not good charting, 187. If you're a swing trader, 187 has to hold on Amazon on the daily, 187. Okay, that's a very big level to hold. We see, some big moves down, but ultimately buy ups. And so again, I'm on the 4-hour. When you start seeing these wicks here, like it doesn't matter. You want to break down. That's some big buying here. We open here, sell through. What do bears try and do? Sellers try and do. Oh, sell through 187. Let's get bearish. Nope, big buyback. Look how they closed. Okay, and now green dash line is my 20. 9 dash line, or excuse me, purple line is my 9. So again, you in my classes, said it tonight. 3 reasons to be bullish on Amazon. Doesn't mean a breakout has to come, but we got 1, 2, 3 things in our favor acting as support. And so, big smackdown here. Definitely, we should probably mark this up. I don't play Amazon a whole lot. That's why the level's not that good. 190.5 or 190. Cautiously can take swings if you bottom tick here on 187, and you can ride it and trim, but only swing if you're trimming. I don't care if it's November or December calls, like you trim here up in this 190 zone, like smackdown, rejection here, big sell through. Haven't broken out of this, since late September. So again, don't try and time a breakout, but you trim into resistance. And if the breakout comes, you ride your runners. If you only have one, that's fine. Bottom tick at 187, sell at 190, rinse and repeat. Okay. But 190 is our ceiling until it's not. 190 is top zone resistance until it's not. But very nice zone here on Amazon. Very nice chart. On the 4-hour chart here, you guys, so you guys mark some levels. We break 187, and I'm not saying it's going to come there in a day, but selling pressure continues 184 and 182.7. But again, a zoomed in look, there's lots of levels in between, but I don't like to mark, I don't mark every little pivot here on the 30-minute, just things get too messy. But very nice potential day trade setup on Amazon. Trying to keep up with the chat. All right, now we're doing time, 20 minutes. OKLO, and then next thing I'm seeing is Roku. I think someone in the chat was talking about this, but oh man, I hate this shit. But ooh, look where we closed. I think that's an accident. I don't think so. Look at that. Chasing the FOMO. Chasing Twitter. Hopefully you can get smoked on that. But let's take a look. That's fine. Is this okay? All-time high zone. I don't like trading these, but it's requested, so let's look at it. I'm gonna have to go to a 30-minute chart probably. Rupee, yeah, same person as Amazon. So, my bread and butter. Breakout and retest of 1822. I don't know if this is liquid for options or if you're in shares, but play that continuation or hopes of a continuation 1822 and ride it up. We don't have much up here because this is all-time high unless I looked at the chart wrong. But hypothetically, you catch a bounce here on Monday. All you got to do is look left and just play this price action here through Friday. And like I said, you guys hear me say in my lectures, you sell heavy at 20. I don't care if that, let's just hypothetically say that profit is 13%. You're like, oh, that's not fun. That's not cool. It doesn't matter. You play the chart, sell at 20, and you sell at all-time high 20.64. Okay. On the downside, if you catch an 1822 short, definitely into this 16 zone, and that's a $2 range, but it can make the move because it did it Friday. So, very nice spot here. Over, you can just ride the momentum, I guess. Under, you trim into it somewhere into this pocket here. You find some levels here from last 2 days. Break under 16. Got to be thinking sellers are in control or buyers are taking a breather, however you want to look at it. But under 16, got to be thinking breakouts are failing. Okay, swing short. And then you get into these levels here. But until then, you can buy puts with time, but it's like you might just get chewed up if they keep pushing it, whatever the name this is, or sector. And so you got to just kind of trade what it gives you. But hopefully that's what you want. Oh, I'm falling behind the chat, like River. I'll get to Roku in a second. We got 15 minutes left. I want to get to a couple small port stuff. Actually, hold on, a couple big tech stuff too. I'll try and come back to it. Because I think what is most important? Let me start with Meta. I think Meta has a really nice setup brewing. I think I circled it. I gotta figure out why I circled it. All right, let's look at Meta, guys. What do we see here? Big push up, double top-ish. Okay. Daily 9 is overhead. So if we range or selling pressure continues, this daily 9 is going to keep doing one of these, and it's going to be selling pressure. It's going to be a moving average resistance until it's not. The 20 is right here. So we pretty much rejected it. And if we range, it's going to start doing this. And so I'm not saying be a mega bull on this name or bearish, but I see 3 glaring things overhead on a larger time frame. Okay, so moving averages are now stacked over us. 477.65. Look at our price action last week. Okay, very, very important setup forming on Meta. Okay, we hold 477.65, or let's just call it, that's a big dollar amount range. 477.65. I'm gonna stick to that. We get closes over. We can see buyers put in a little bit of a bounce, but ultimately sellers are smacking this down. Okay, and I think, did I have this earlier? Yeah, it's not super clean. 1, 2, 3 touches. Let's roll with it. Okay, so again, I'm not saying swing short, but to be a bull, this is getting concerning to me because 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, all last week. So we put in a high of the week on Monday, and we're stair stepping down. So Monday, what are we doing? Are we breaking out, or are we stair stepping down? So for me, guys, if you guys trade big tech, I don't trade Meta a lot, but I want to mention it because I know a lot of you guys do. But that 477.65 just stands out to me. I've been setting alerts. They got to reclaim that. Bulls have to reclaim that because we see, this trend, this stair step down is going to continue. And so you guys want to catch like big shorts or big short trades. It's like when you see a name like this, it's not pushing in the market as of last week. Obviously, it's been a good year, but as of last week, if you start to see any weakness in tech or SPY or the whole market in general, it's like, okay, you're scanning charts. Let me find a short. It's like, this is stuff I want to see. This, like, if the market starts getting weak next week, obviously Meta can push on a weak market. No, no denying that. But when I see stuff like this having kind of a bad week, it's almost like it's waiting for something. And so if heavy selling pressure comes in next week, hypothetically again, this is a name to watch because we can see, breakouts are not happening, neither are sell downs. So this may just be a reason for Meta to either make the move up bullish or come down and leg down really, really nice. And so you catch a nice move on this, even on some swings, you guys. You can play some swings in this lower 570. Again, I'm not saying it's going to hit there in a day trade, but, you can sell into this bottom pocket here, this bottom range here from late September. But Meta, I think, is definitely one to watch, you guys. If you're not good charting, 477.65, and even on a zoomed in look, like, it's holding, but guess what? Breakouts are not holding either. So I think a big move is happening or brewing for Meta this week. So if you guys like Meta and like to trade it or take swings, take note of this name. One more big tech. Let me see if I got notes on Google, AMD. I might come back to them if I have time. Which one do I like more? I think Google. Similar setup. So 167 here, you guys. Give a different color for you guys on your phones. This might be hard to see. So pink line, pinkish purplish line, whatever you want to call it. Look at this reaction here back in August. Failure to get over, selling pressure. Push up late September, couple breakout days, selling pressure. August, trying to break over, selling pressure. Okay, so for me, Google's setting up again, very nice day trades possible. This is what I'm eyeing this week on Google. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches here, 5 different days. So Google this week, sellers are going to give up and buyers are going to step in, and we're going to push, we're going to break this, we're going to trickle up, we're going to push, we're going to get a breakout, and hopefully nice multi-day continuation. Or you already know where we're going with this. Rejections. This is too easy of a chart. They'll never do this to us. Rejections, and we sell down, or we reject and we sell and break trend line. So Google is definitely one to watch, you guys. Again, 167 is huge. Mark down your chart. Trend line is huge if you want to be a bull. Mark down your chart. And what do we got? Our daily moving averages. Look how they're stacked. The 9 and the 20. The 9's underneath, the 20's overhead. So very big day, very big deciding day for Google tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday, I believe. So again, nice bottom tick, push, ride it into 167. Don't be a fool. Sell into 167. Who cares what the percent is? You day trade into 167. Or weakness, you catch this breakdown to 165 and you take puts with confidence and you go, okay, where do I sell? You look left. You have tons of price action here from late September into early October. Lots of price targets here to get into. You can even take it to low a day on Thursday, this 164.50. But Google's setting up. I don't know which way it's going to go. You know, it's got a big overhead, resistance overhead. It's got a trend line. It's got a moving average. So Google, you guys take some notes. GM. Do I want to do GM or Uber first? GM is kind of, I don't want to say a guess. I don't want to use that term. People are listening to lecture, but it's, I don't want to say blind puts on swings, but I'm eyeing this top zone here on GM, General Motors. And so, you know, there was some flow, I think, that Tilio called a couple weeks ago, somewhere down here. We got that big ass breakout, which is nice. And now we push into 49.5, 50-ish zone, and, you know, no continuation Friday. You know, it lines up with the double top, you know, September and August again. And so it's like, we had a nice run from 45. Are we taking a breather? For me, I want to see a roll down under, I think under 49 is safe-ish. And I say that because, let me grab this trend line here. Because we don't just want to blindly short things. Like, okay, so the reason I have a little bit of bearish skew, I guess, because triple top here on a daily outlook, you know, 1, 2, 3. If we break this structure, if we break this trend, this blue line here, and we break a big support, 49, I have to treat 49 as resistance now because we broke it. You know, I want to see price action push into 49, big rejection. So for me, GM, it's literally just set some alerts, but I think it's worth a look on for you guys that play small port stuff. But again, this can go bullish. We hold this trend. We get back over our pivot from the previous day, 49.50-ish. And look at those 50 calls to day trade or swing, you know, if you're gutsy. And let's go get that 50.25. But for now, I'm just, this is standing out to me. I want to point out to you guys, I'm not saying tomorrow morning take puts at the open or take calls, but something to watch. If you guys like some slower moving names, you can get 4, 5, 6 weeks of time on this for less than $200. Very nice trade potential on this. Okay. Let me hit KO. Let's see what we got here. KO's been paying nice. You guys are sleeping on this name if you don't play this name. Catch this here, trend line. This moves so nice, especially, man, Wednesday, Thursday, KO moves. Beautiful. All right. Looking like we're doomsday bearish. Broke that 70.55, broke that 69.67, but reclaimed it last week. Okay, so for me, sort of a tight range. I'm not saying it's a no zone day trade, but we can see this zone here, 70.55. Under that, again, we see the selling pressure. Over that, we see the continuation. So for me tomorrow, might as well just make an alert. Can't talk about it if I'm not going to look at and act on it myself. But I want to see that 70.55 reaction. That's probably going to trigger. If we open anywhere, near that, it's probably going to trigger unless we gap down on it tomorrow. But let's see the price reaction on KO tomorrow. As of now, two things to be bearish on. Overhead resistance and the daily 20, which is the green line, are stacked perfectly right there. But you break over and it's immediately, you got to be thinking bullish if we reclaim 70.55. Okay. So last week, KO is kind of nice because last week that was our top. I mean, obviously we pushed up, but from a larger candle or time frame perspective, 70.55 was our top for last week. Go back 5 days, count the chart lines, and that was our top. Okay, and where's our bottom? 69.67. Don't make charting hard, you guys. Don't make trading hard. This is a very nice range to trade in. Okay, so day trader's perspective, if you miss the rejection, you don't take puts here. You take calls here with caution, and you hope and you look for a bounce and you catch the retrace. Okay, pre-market or early on Friday, same thing. Calls, bounce, calls, bounce. You catch the bounce. Top range, what did it do? Damn near to the penny, probably rejected top range. So very nice setup for me. Nice lookout on KO. Just a very nice range. I wouldn't say it's swing tradeable yet, but definitely just day trade. This is how I would treat this as a day trade. Roku and Uber. And I know I'm laying in the chat. Rob says thoughts on SPY. I know he's probably late, but we can go over that again real quick. But let's check the request first. Ooh. Ooh. All right, 4-hour chart here. Clear trend, not super clean, but clear upward trend. Very nice breakout Friday of 79. That makes it easy. Rupee, yeah, if you're still in here. Roku, very nice. Let me check the daily. Where are we at on the daily? Because I know Roku's gonna be down. Ooh, Roku wants the gap fill. Very nice. Reject there. Yep. That's what's fun about charting, you guys, is slap a line here at 80.75 and you look back 13 months ago and look at, if you can look all the way left of my chart, 80.75 lines up. It's like, oh, why did it reject there on Thursday? Well, old resistance. For me, Roku is a fairly easy chart to trade. Let's go through it. You already know where I'm going. You know my bread and butter. Two scenarios here. Two bullish scenarios, that is. So scenario number one, we trickle in pre-market like this. You treat Friday's high zone, Friday's close-ish, close zone. You treat that as support until it's not. You look for a bounce. I don't know if you're the type to play early morning at the open, but pretty much this 80 zone. You want the bounce, scenario number one, and you sell here. Okay. Take the 75-cent move on the stock, because if you bottom tick an 81 call here, that pays very, very nice. Okay, you're in 10, sell 8, ride 2 for maybe a breakout. Okay, scenario number 2 to be a bull. We slowly or a little bit gap down, we move down. You buy dips here. okay? Because we see on the daily chart how important 79 is. That was an old resistance, multiple day resistance. It finally broke out. You want to see the bounce there because you expect, we trickle into it, you want to see a reaction like this into it. So two bullish scenarios that I would primarily look for first, but we trade options. We're day traders, let's not get married to a trade. So scenario number two, riskier, but rejections bounce down, rejection double top. Take your puts there, okay, for a day trade. Take your 80 put or 80.5 to have it, and you take your profit zone into this zone here, down here, or the morning price action, whatever it is. But if you take puts and we break out, you're like, okay, open range has been set, double top, breakouts fail, whatever it is, and we push up, just take the small loss, 12%, 15%, whatever it is. Don't hold for 60% loss on puts to see if we're going to retrace down. Just take the small loss and look for a retest on that first scenario I called and look for calls. Don't get married to a trade. But scenario number two would be bearish on, ideally double top or top range rejecting, take some shorts there. Or again, come down into here. Another scenario is if we open here, look to see if we come down and reject that 80, which would be ideally your open, and it would be also Friday's close. You take puts down into here. Or come down pre-market. You already know where we're going with this. Take your short there because you want to see or expect price action like this. Like, this shit's getting messy, sorry. You want to see a candle like this. So you take puts here, you want to see a rejection candle like this and a follow through, or at least some follow through, and take your puts down like that. And so Roku, pretty nice chart. Definitely day tradable on Roku. You guys got some nice charts. Marina, Starbucks had a breakout on Friday. Very nice day. For me, I wanted to see 95 hold. It held. We got a breakout day, but now what? We got two, oops, sorry about that. So I'm on the 4-hour chart here. You can see my little resistance zone here. I'm just going to continue it because it's still, oops, it's still resistance until it's not. Doesn't matter. So Starbucks, I think day trade / be a call dip buyer into 96.60. It's this spot here because we expect that all this price action here, which was resistance, we expect it's now support. And so hypothetical price action, we want to see this here. So we dip down into 96.60 and we want to see the bounce, and you bottom tick the calls, and we say you're a goat, and you post in the gains tab, you say, hey, 96.60 all the way to 97.43. That's what you do. So Starbucks back into the top side range, but it's still got some room. And so for me, moving averages, again, same thing as most tickers. Moving averages are now curled underneath, big breakout day. So you got 3 reasons to stay bullish until 96.60 fails you. Okay, 96.60 is your support until it's not. We start getting opens or closes under it. And what do? We treat 96.60 like this. We want to see rejections. Boom, take those puts, rejections, take those puts, rejections, take those puts. Okay, so very nice trade here, or trade potential on Starbucks. Again, 97.43 is our top zone until it's not. Again, look at all this price action from late September. You want the breakout? Doesn't matter. Breakout's not coming. But you bottom tick some calls here, you get some moving averages, like you get some, late November, ride that. Because if we break out at 96.43, 96.50, it's on 98, 99, something to look at there in Starbucks. Very nice request, very nice charts, you guys. All right, one more. Did I skip? Let me do Uber. Hindsight trade, of course, big breakout, but Uber's been getting beat down. I called it. I think I showed, hopefully my alert gave you guys profits 1 or 2 days last week or 2 weeks ago, but Uber broke over 82, which was that old big level. This would have been late 2 weeks ago. Okay. not saying a pump and dump, but I think this was possibly a news breakout. But anyway, big breakout, obviously did not hold. Okay, so what do we look at here on, I can move this alert down. Uber, I am, as of now, for swings, that is, I'm bearish. Day trades, I have more reasons to be bearish than bull, but I'm going to show you guys two reasons we can take this trade either way. So bearish setup first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of lower highs. So the high that it put in, it's making lower highs. Okay. It's making lower lows. So that's a downtrend. We now have the 9 overhead. And we now have a big 8150 overhead. But we got some big support coming up. So tomorrow is going to be a tricky day, or tricky to try and day trade it, because it's like, okay, we got the overhead selling pressure, multi-day continuation, but we have 70.48, basically 750 as support, because we see pre-market action there, how big it is, pre-market there, and it lines up, I think, on the daily. Yeah, look at that price action there. So it's getting into a tricky zone, but it's a zone to watch. So, you know, Uber, if we break this tomorrow, and hypothetically, let's just say we have selling pressure in the market, you know, a break under 70.48 is a safe short. You know, you play the bounce, take your put there, you know, whether right or wrong. And if we're right, we're gonna get paid big. If we're wrong, we lose small. If we open around this zone here, cautiously can look at some calls, because you're at 78.50. Those 80 calls will pay very nice, but you need to play into the trend line, sell your calls. You need to play into Thursday's price action, because, you know, you can't ignore the price action Friday, because, you know, if we push up here and you're like, oh, why do we reject here at 79? Well, look left. 79 is basically Friday's close. And so Uber's just one to watch. Obviously, in hindsight, I wish I would have took some better swings on that. Can't win them all. I think we tried to short here. Some people swung. I don't think I did. I don't remember what it was, but Uber's setting up kind of nice. So bearish skew until we either break a trend line, you know, bounce here, or even better, get over 81 or 82 zone. Like if we gap up, we blast to 82. Yeah, be back to being bullish on this one. Okay. Quick roundup, guys. I'm gonna end this lecture just for Rob, if he's still in here. Rob, 585 is our ceiling on SPY. Again, don't time the breakout. If you guys are trading 0 DTs, day traders, whatever it is, just play calls into 585. You know, watch for rejections, take your shorts, because, like, you know, if you take a put here and you're wrong, like, look at this, your stop out. So this would be your stop out zone. You always see my chart shaded area. Like if we blast through it and you're in puts, that's fine. Your stop out is small. Okay. But if we reject, you know, we talk about risk to reward. So that is your risk, this small area. This is your reward, all this down here, potentially, obviously, in hindsight, or hypothetically, that is. But, you know, take trades with good risk reward. Okay. We gap over 585 tomorrow. Okay. This is easy. Take this. Why is that working? Move it over. You already know where I'm going with this. Okay. Now we're bullish. We broke 585. Now it's flipped. Our risk is very small. Okay. Our risk is, I'm on a 30-minute chart here. Our risk, I mean, depending if you're in 0 DTs or 3 days to expiration, this is a very loose stop, you know, hypothetically, but your risk for me, if I like buy Friday contracts, it's, you know, I'm holding 10 cents down. That's nothing. 10 cents in the stock, which lines up with these 30-minute candle closes here. See how they close right there? So your risk is small to be a bull, and we push. And again, this is your reward zone up here. Friday's high. Thursday's push up. There's not a lot of volume up here, you guys, so be careful. But again, if we break out, just write it. You know, maybe we have a Yeah, this was Monday. I was like, hey, be careful up here, guys. What we do Monday? Gap up, and we just launched. Okay. This was Monday's price action. We can do that again. So if we push up and we're just flying, just ride it. But just don't be, oblivious to where we were previous days last week. So if that makes sense for you guys. And again, we want this. We want a breakout of 585. I want that because tech moves the market so heavily. I want 494 to be holding on QQQ. Even better, a break and hold of 495 on Qs, and that lines up, and we're over these numbers are hard. 585 on SPY. It's on. Be a bull. If tech is running, we can get away with a little bit of downside on either Qs or XLF financials. I mean, if they're both getting dumped on and Qs are pushing, SPY might be sideways, but we can get away with like some chop on XLE or XLF, and one of them may be pushing a little bit. And if Qs are flying, SPY's probably gonna be flying too. But if you see SPY kind of doing like, I don't know, let's just say this price action here, the first hour of the day. So if you're seeing this price action up, down, up, down, up, down, the 30-minute candle, you need to look at QQQ, XLE, and XLF. What are they doing? And if they're chopping too, that's why SPY is probably chopping. Or if XLE's running and Q's dumping, they're going to kind of offset. You're going to get this price action on SPY. And so if you're stuck and you're getting pissed on trades and scalp, and you're like, man, I keep getting stopped out or wicked out, look at your sectors, you guys, because you have to think, what is in SPY? What is in the S&P 500? What makes it move? Again, if Qs are running, SPY is probably going to do the same. But with that, you guys, I appreciate you guys all for sticking around. Some really great questions, some really great tickers. Let's trade smart tomorrow, like every other day. That's no different. But let's have a great week, you guys. Check the news tab for big data. Read Tilio's newsletter. Send someone a chart. Send someone with an idea, because you guys are putting out some good work right now. I like these ideas, like these setups you guys are thinking about. So let's keep it up, you guys. Have a great Monday. And with that, I'm going to end this chat. Have a good night, guys.